Alright, hopefully y'all remember how to do substitution and elimination, because that's the same thing we're doing today. The only difference is we're doing it with nonlinear equations. So it's called a nonlinear system. What we're solving, a nonlinear system. What does nonlinear mean? Good, not a straight line. So if you're thinking graphs that aren't a straight line, name some. Parabolas. What else? What'd you say? Absolute value. Name one more. I'll name one. Circles. That's what we're going to be dealing with. Ones like that, okay? So solutions, if they exist, are to these type of solutions, or to these type of systems of equations represented the intersection of graphs like ones we just said, like circles, or parabolas, or absolute value equations, square roots, anything like that. And the first way we're going to do it is by substitution. So the first thing we're going to look for is a letter that has what in front? Nope. Think about substitution. Trying to get a letter by itself, so we're looking for a letter that has what in front? 1. Okay, so we know this one has a 1 in front, this Y. This one has a 1 in front. This one does too, but it has an x squared. We want one that has an exponent of 1, a coefficient of 1. So which one do y'all want to solve for? This Y or this Y? First or second one? Second one? Okay. It doesn't really matter which one. If we solve for this Y, what do we need to get rid of? 4x by doing what first? Very good. Subtraction. So we got negative Y, bring that down, equals what? Good. Have we solved for Y? No. Got to get rid of this by doing what? So tell me what Y is. 4x plus 1. Good. I want you to underline that. So kind of like the same thing with linear as nonlinear. We solve for Y. Now we're going to do what with this? Plug it into which one? The first one, the one we did not use. So do I change x squared? No. Instead of Y right here, I'm going to put what? 4x plus 1. Yes, 4x plus 1. And then I also have to bring down this what? Yes. So nothing changed. I just replaced this Y with 4x plus 1. Yes, because 1 minus 1 is what? So now we have x squared equals 4x. We're trying to solve for it. What should we do? Divide it by what? What now? Subtract the 4x. That's what I would do. So then we can do what? Factor. That's why it's in the math workshop. It's never going to go away. It's going to follow you all throughout your math careers. So what can I take out? And what goes in the middle? So when we set these both equal to 0, one of them will be what? And one of them will be good. So with nonlinear, they can cross in 2 different spots. Like a circle and a parabola. I'm just going to draw something over here so you'll see. Don't draw this, but like a circle and a parabola, they can cross in more than one spot. So sometimes you might have more than one solution. So how do I find the Y for this value? Yes, and where should I plug it in? Either one, or I could plug it into this one. This one probably easier. So if I plug in 0, 4 times 0, plus 1. So Y equals what when X is 0? Good. If I plug in 4 here, 4 times 4? 16 plus 1? So Y equals 17. So our 2 solutions, and I want you to get used to writing them as coordinate points. The first one is going to be 0, 1. The second one's going to be 4, 17. Good. Which means that if we were to graph these 2 equations, they would cross at these 2 points on the graph. If I wanted to check these, you could plug them in for X and Y into both of these if you wanted to. I would suggest doing that on the test. We're not going to do that right now. So we won't have enough time. Alright, questions about that one? One more together, then you're going to do some on your own. Darian, pick which letter you want to solve for. Alright, why'd you pick X? You just said a letter? Okay, Amber, pick a letter you want to solve for. Tell me why. Good. Okay. Every decision matters, Darian. Life's all about choices. So it'd be easier to solve for Y because it has a 1 beside it right here. So if I was going to solve for Y, Abigail, I'd need to do what first here?
You need to subtract the 9. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. You need to...
So think about, here's the Y. We want it by itself on this side. We need to move the what?
Oh, the 3.
By doing what?
Subtract.
Good. Alright, subtract 3x from both sides. So tell me what that would give me. What we have on the left side? Not Y. Good. Equals. And then Brandon, what do we need to do here? Yes, divide everything by. Yes. So Y equals. Very good. Alright, there's Y. We have solved for it. It's by itself. If this pen quits working, I'm going to cry. We need to plug it into which one? The first one. Okay. So tell me what that would look like when I rewrite it, Miles. Miles.
You said what?
Tell me how I would rewrite this one when I plug in Y in for this equation.
You rewrite the first one?
Mm-hmm. All we're doing is plugging this in for Y.
So x squared equals 2y.
2, but instead of Y.
Huh?
Instead of Y. If you would pay attention, you would know.
I was paying attention.
What is Y then?
3x minus 9.
Okay, so tell me what to put here.
3x minus 9.
Okay. Alright, and then plus 10, got to bring that down. So, Solomon, from here...
Teacher, students, can I have your attention, please? Have a quick announcement about the lunch schedule. On your students, on your new schedule, your lunch schedule is for the new campus, not this one. So please listen carefully. For the A lunch, if you, fourth period teacher, if you have the following teachers for fourth period, you will go to A lunch for this campus. If you have Brittany Adams,
It's going to take a while.
Clinton Barthélemy, Mr. Burston,
Taking our time.
I'm going to pause this.
Mr. Cole,
We should have a stress.
Mr. Con.
Alright, Solomon, go ahead.
So it's x squared equals 6x minus 18 plus 6. Or what is that? Oh, 10.
Good. Alright, so then we'll have x squared equals 6x minus...
8.
Very good. Now what?
Subtract 6, 8.
And add 8. Good. We need everything on this side. So this 6x will become negative 6x. This 8 will become positive 8. And now we factor, of course. So Colby, what are factors of 8 that could add to be negative 6? Perfect. X minus 4, x minus 2. So our two x's are what? 4 and 2. Good. That come from right here, just setting them equal to 0. And now I'm going to plug these in to find my y. I suggest this one because y is already solved for. And we could just do this in our head, I think. So 4 times 3. 12 minus 9. Good. So y equals 3 right here. When we plug in 2 right here. 3 times 2? minus 9? Perfect. So my two answers, again, practice writing these in coordinate points because that's how I want it on the test, as 4, 3, and 2, negative 3. Alright, questions about that? And again, I just want to say this because we're about to start seeing some of them. They won't always have two solutions. They might have one, they might have 3, they might have 4. It just depends on the type of graphs that we're dealing with, okay? I want you to do C on your own. It's super easy because I've already solved a letter for you. So go ahead and try. So again, Y is already solved for you. You just got to plug it into the other equation. So what you want to do is get everything on that side. You just need to move this by what? Good. On that side also? Well, the only one you can subtract it from is what? Yes. Good. Okay, so now let's write this in order. We need this to go first, right? Now perspective. So if I factor a negative 6, that had to be 1. And factor it just like we did this one. Alright, Amber, what'd you get for one of yours? Dan, what'd you get for another one? Still working? Alright, Antonio?
Negative 35.
Alright, these are correct. Do I need to go over this one? Yes? Okay. Y is already solved for right here. So all I need to do is plug in this into Y. So here's how it looks. Keep the X, plug in this for Y, so X squared minus 4, and still keep the equals 2. What do I do from here?
Subtract 2.
Subtract 2, so I get X plus X squared. What's negative 4 minus 2? Alright, is this in the correct order?
No.
X squared needs to come first, so that way I can factor it. What are factors in negative 6 that add to be 1? X plus 3, good, and X minus 2. That's how we get the 2 and negative 3. You just set these equal to 0. So once you have 2, you can just plug it in here. 2 squared is 4, minus 4 is 0. Negative 3 squared is positive 9, minus 4 is 5. Who got these two on their own? Sweet. Okay, let's try another one. Any other questions on this one? Alright, flip this over. Actually, we'll do this one together. It's a little different because this is a circle and a linear equation. Still doing substitution. Which letter would be easy to solve for? X in the first one. Good. So how do I solve for X?
Subtract 2y.
You do. So X equals.
Negative 2y.
Perfect. You just guessed. Is that what you said?
No.
Oh. Alright, so I'm rewriting this equation, except instead of X, I'm going to put what? Negative 2y right here. So nothing else changes, just the X. Negative 2y minus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 5. Yes.
I'll tell you what formula is that. We know that.
This one?
Yeah.
Standard equation for a circle. Alright, what do we do? We obviously need to solve for y, but how?
Spoiled.
Yes, very good. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as two binomials. If you don't need to, you don't have to, but I'm going to do it. So this squared is the same as this times this. Y minus 1 squared is the same as y minus 1 times y minus 1. Alright, let's fold it. So my first terms multiplied together would be what? Perfect. What about outer? Negative 2y times negative 1. And inside? And last? Very good. Any questions about how to fold that? Cool. Alright, what about this fold? What's my first terms going to be? And my outer? And my inside? And my last? Good. Not hard, just a little bit longer than the other one. Alright, combining like terms. Does 4y squared have friends?
No.
Yes, it does.
5y.
So it'd be 5y squared. Good. Mark those out. We have 2y plus 2y, which gives us what? 4y minus y minus y. Good. Plus 2y. 1 plus 1. And we still have equals 5. Now what? Subtract 5, so we have 5y squared plus 2y. What's 2 minus 5? Very good. I'll give y'all time to write that down and think about it. Now, we have two options. One way to solve this would be by what? Factoring, which we could do. Another way would be what? Quadratic formula. I'll let y'all pick which one. Factoring? Okay. So this one we have to find factors of what? Negative 15. Good. A times C. What are factors of negative 15 that could add to be 2? One of them has to be negative. Yes. Because 5 minus 3 is positive 2. Do y'all remember how to factor this one?
Yes.
Alright, what do I do?
5y squared plus 5.
Good. 5y minus 3y minus... I said x. I've been thinking about it. Wrote it down. And now you're going to do what? Group. Very good. Alright, what do 5y squared and 5y have in common?
5y.
And what goes on the inside? And what do these have in common? And very good. So once I put these as two binomials, it'll look like what?
5y minus 3 is 5.
Very good. So finally, y is equal to what? 3/5 and negative 1. We have our y's. We just need our x's. I don't mean to discourage you, but for the rest of this semester, the work you'll be doing in this class is not going to be hard, just like this is not going to be, but it's going to be tedious. Almost every chapter after this. So just have good work ethic and you'll be fine. Alright, so to plug it in, I would probably plug it into this one. X equals negative 2y. It'd be easiest. So here we'll have x equals negative 2. I'm going to write it as a fraction. Nobody freak out. Same thing. Times this y, which is what? 3/5. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. So the top's going to be what?
Negative 6.
Over? Good. So one of our coordinate points is going to be negative 6 over 5. What's my y value for that? 3/5. Good. And my other y value, negative 1, if I plug this in, what's negative 2? What's negative 2 times negative 1? 2. So it'd be 2, negative 1 is my other point. Questions about that? Alright, I'll give y'all time to copy that down. Let me know if you have questions, because we're going to do one more together, then you're going to do the last one on your own. Alright, then moving on. Go ahead, Antonio. Okay. Alright, Darren, you want to solve for x or y? Okay, in the first equation, correct? So what do I have to get rid of if I'm solving for x? Yes. Either one. The y by doing what? Yes, so x equals what? Not minus y. Yes, because if I move it over, Antonio, by adding it, it'll become positive. So there's my x. Now I'm going to plug it in here. So what's that going to look like when I rewrite it? Yep, into the second equation. Almost y plus 3 minus 2 squared. Plus y plus 3 squared equals 4. Oops. Alright, this I can simplify. This is the same as what right here? Y plus 1 squared. Good. Go ahead and write that twice if you need to, because we're going to have to full it. Plus 1 squared. And then plus y plus 3, y plus 3. Alright, let's full it. So let's go down the line. Logan, tell me my first terms right here.
Y squared plus 2y plus 1.
Good. He went ahead and combined the middle terms, because it would be y squared plus y, and y plus y is 2y. Everybody good with that? Alright, that was this fold right here. Colby, what about this one? Go ahead. Missing the inner term. 3y. And then plus 9. Very good. Alright, Alyssa, if I combine like terms, what am I going to have? The first one in order? Good. Combine these. That's 2y squared. Alright, Kate, if I combine all my y's, that's going to give me what?
8y.
Very good. Kai, if I combine my constants on this side, I'll have what? Very good. Now what? Subtract what? Very good. Alright, before we start factoring and all that, what could we do to make our lives easier? Take out what?
Everything by 2.
2 out of everything, okay? It's not going to change our answer. It's going to make it easier for us when we factor. So if I take a 2 out of everything, that's going to give me what?
4y plus 3.
Y squared plus 4y plus 3. Very good. And now it's really easy to factor. What are factors of 3 that add to be 4?
3 and 1.
Good. So it'd be y plus 1, y plus 3. So my 2 y's are what?
Negative 133.
Very good. And now we just need to plug them in. I would probably plug it into this one that you solved to x for. We can just do it in our head. If I plug in negative 1 right here, what's negative 1 plus 3? So our first coordinate point is 2, negative 1. If I plug in negative 3 right here, it'd be negative 3 plus 3, which is what? Good. So my second coordinate point is what? Perfect.
So it doesn't really matter when you plug it back into.
Nope, you could plug it into the original Antonio or one of the, or this one. This one's just easier because X is already solved for. Alright, you are doing C on your own. By on your own, I mean you can ask people around you for help or me or Miss Flocker. Let me know if you have questions.